Hello everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Ahmed. Today, we're going to learn 3 very useful words in English. Could, should, and would. These 3 words are called modal verbs. They are very common in everyday English, but they can sometimes be confusing. So, let's make them simple and easy to understand. Let's get started. Part 1. Could. First, let's talk about could. We use could in several different situations. The first use is to talk about ability in the past. For example, when I was a child, I could swim very well. She could speak English when she was 10. When he was younger, he could run very fast. In these examples, could means that someone was able to do something in the past. Now, let's look at another use. We can use could to talk about possibility. For example, it could rain tonight. He could be at home. This could be a good opportunity. In these sentences, could means that something is possible. We don't know if it will happen, but it is possible. We can also use could to make polite requests. For example, could you help me, please? Could you open the door? Could you speak more slowly? Could you repeat that, please? These sentences are polite ways to ask someone to do something. So, remember, could can talk about past ability, possibility, or polite requests. Part 2. Should. Now let's talk about should. We mainly use should when we want to give advice or a recommendation. For example, you should drink more water. You should study English every day. You should get some rest. You should call your parents. You should practice speaking English. When we use should, we are saying that something is a good idea. For example, if you want to improve your English, you should practice every day. If you're tired, you should get some sleep. If you want to stay healthy, you should exercise regularly. We can also use shouldn't for negative advice. Shouldn't means that something is not a good idea. For example, you shouldn't eat too much sugar. You shouldn't stay up too late. You shouldn't worry too much. You shouldn't spend all day on your phone. So, remember, should is mainly used for advice and recommendations. Part 3. Would. Now, let's talk about would. Would has several uses too. One common use is for polite offers and questions. For example, would you like some coffee? Would you like some tea? Would you like to sit down? Would you like to join us? Would you like is a very common and polite expression. For example, would you like some water? Yes, please. Or, no, thank you. We can also use would to talk about imaginary or unreal situations. For example, if I had more money, I would travel around the world. If I had more free time, I would learn another language. If I were you, I would study every day. If I had $1 million, I would buy a big house. If plus past tense, then would plus the base verb. For example, if I had more time, I would exercise more. If I lived in London, I would speak English every day. If I were rich, I would travel the world. We can also use would like to talk about what we want. For example, I would like some water, please. I would like to learn English. I would like to visit London. I would like to improve my pronunciation. Could, should, or would. Now, let's make the difference very easy. Think about it like this. Could is about possibility or ability. Should is about advice. Would is often about imaginary situations or polite expressions. Let's look at some examples. It could rain tomorrow. This is a possibility. You should study more. This is advice. If I had more time, I would study more. This is an imaginary situation. Let's try another example. Could you help me? This is a polite request. You should help your friend. This is advice. Would you like some coffee? This is a polite offer. Now, repeat these sentences after me. Could you help me? You should practice English every day.
You should practice English every day. You should practice English every day.
Would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee?
You shouldn't worry too much. You shouldn't worry too much.
I would like to learn English. I would like to learn English.
If I had more time, I would travel more. If I had more time, I would travel more.
When I was a child, I could swim very well. When I was a child, I could swim very well.
You shouldn't spend all day on your phone. You shouldn't spend all day on your phone.
Great job! Remember, don't just memorize these words. Try to use them in your everyday conversations. The more you practice, the more natural your English will become. And remember the simple rule. Could means possibility, ability, or a polite request. Should means advice or a recommendation. Would is often used for imaginary situations, preferences, and polite expressions. That's all for today's lesson. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Easy English Ahmed for more easy English lessons. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.